Like always, we are in NBA 2K20, and in today's video, we have combined the top 2 players on every single team to create one super player on every NBA team. And starting off here, we got the Philadelphia 76ers. We have Ben Embiid. How we made these players is I just took the highest rated attribute from each player in every single category. So for an example, say in interior defense, Joel Embiid had a 93, Ben Simmons had an 80. We would take Joel Embiid's 93 interior defense, and we would do that for every single stat to make both of the players combined into their best possible versions. I also did the same thing for badges as well as hot zones. So it's going to be a combination of the best of both players. Of course, starting off here, we got Ben Embiid of the 76ers. And then whichever player was better, we used their position. And we took the height of the tallest of the 2 players as well. Going over to the Bucks, we got Chris Antetokounmpo, who is a 98 overall. On the Bulls, we got Wendell Levine, who's an 88. We got Kevin Drummond on the Cavaliers. Jason Walker on the Celtics. Paul Leonard on the Clippers. Some of these names just sound so ridiculous. We got Jaren Morant on the Grizzlies. Clint Young, probably my favorite of all the names. Clint Young on the Hawks. Bam Butler on the Heat. Terry Graham on the Hornets. And I believe this is the lowest overall player when we actually combined the 2 top players on each team. So Terry Graham only an 84. We got Rudy Mitchell, Buddy Fox, Julius Robinson, Anthony James, who's a 99. We got Evan Vucevic, Kristaps Doncic, Kyrie Durant. And in my opinion, I think this is the top player out of all of them. I think this player is going to do the best during the season. We got Jamal Jokic, Malcolm Oladipo, Drew Ingram, Blake Rose, Kyle Siakam, Russell Harden, LaMarcus DeRozan, DeAndre Booker, Stephen Paul, D'Angelo Towns, Hassan Lillard, Clay Curry, and John Beal. So that is going to be all of our players. We got the best of each of the players combined. And I want you guys to comment down below on which player you think is going to do the best throughout this entire season. I already put on my vote for Kyrie Durant, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. We're just going to simulate a season through my league and find out if things change at all in the season. Are some teams going to be better than others now? Or some teams going to get a lot worse? It's going to be interesting. Let's just get right through the simulation. We made it to the All-Star draft. We got Anthony James and Chris Antetokounmpo, but still same 2 guys that are going to be the captains. Just going to go ahead and auto draft this right here and find out everybody that does make it. So we got Kyrie Durant, Clay Curry, Ben Embiid, and Clint Young starters for Anthony James. And of course, the reserves, you can check out everybody that made it there. I wonder if, Al Horford and Jusuf Nurkic are 2 of the players that are actually not combined that did end up making the reserves for Team Anthony James. So that's pretty interesting. It's not all of our combined players, and I believe they're actually the only players out of every single player on these all-star teams that did end up making it. So that's pretty interesting. Starters for Team Chris Antetokounmpo, we got Russell Harden, Paul Leonard, John Beal, and D'Angelo Towns. And yeah, everybody else is a combined player. So big ups to Al Horford and Jusuf Nurkic. There's a bunch of combined players that didn't end up making it on this list on the all-star team. In terms of the 3-point contest, Clay Curry ends up winning that, and Zion still taking home the slam dunk contest. We also had Dennis Smith Jr., Miles Bridges, and then Rudy Mitchell, the only combined player that ended up making the dunk contest. 3-point contest, we got pretty much all combined players except for JJ Redick right here. But of course, Clay Curry did come out on top. I mean, combining the 2 best shooters in the league, these guys are just crazy. Moving on to the NBA awards at the end of the season, Chris Antetokounmpo is going to be your MVP. 36.4 points per game, 12.6 rebounds, 5.7 assists. We're going to see some crazy stats for these players just because we combined players to make super players. I mean, some of these guys are just absolutely insane. One of them being Giannis and Chris Middleton. Rookie of the year going to go to Jaren Morant. Of course, Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant combined. So Ja Morant, he usually gets Rookie of the Year anyways, and he's going to continue doing so. 24 points per game, and he also shot really well as well. Dennis Schroeder going to get Sixth Man of the Year. I mean, all our players are starters, so none of them are going to be Sixth Man. So this is going to be a normal trophy award right there to Dennis Schroeder. Ben Embiid going to get Defensive Player of the Year. They also averaged 31 and 13. I'm surprised they didn't get more assists. We still had him playing at center though, so it does make sense, but he's just going to be a super fast center, just blowing by everybody else. 1.8 steals, 2.5 blocks per game. Fred VanVleet gets Most Improved. Again, another guy that is not a combined player, because I don't think our combined players could improve that much. And Brad Stevens going to get Coach of the Year. So it looks like the Celtics did pretty good with a Jason Walker. Check out our All-NBA awards. Clay Curry, Stephen Fall, Chris Antetokounmpo, Anthony James, and Ben Embiid on the first team. On the second team, again, we got all combined players. And on the third team, all combined players as well. So no other players that weren't combined standing out at all during the season. Those are defensive teams as well. But let's just check out these standings. Starting off in the East, the Boston Celtics do have the best record, 64-18. We got the Bucks with 61 wins, Raptors and 76ers with 50, Nets with 47. The Hawks end up making playoffs, 45 wins. Of course, these are the injury-free rosters as well. Obviously, you would have known that because of the players that we combined previously. The Wizards make playoffs. Of course, we got John Wall back combined with Bradley Beal, and they do very good. Bottom of the East is going to be the Knicks with a Julius Robinson. Not doing too hot. Only an 87 overall. But our lowest combined player over here is still not the least amount of wins. Going over to the West now, we got the Lakers on top with Anthony James. Then we got the Trailblazers. They did very, very well. I mean, we had Hassan Whiteside and Damian Lillard. When you get a point guard and center and put them together, probably makes the biggest difference, just because you got the point guard skill and then the height of a center and all the center skill. So this is a pretty crazy player. And we got the Clippers, the Warriors making it up there, of course, with Clay and Curry. And the Kings end up making playoffs with Buddy Fox. I didn't think they'd do too great just because they're similar players. I mean, in the fact that they're both guards, so their overall wouldn't have gone up as much as other players. Thunder, Jazz not making it in there, Pelicans, and the worst team in the West is going to be the Timberwolves. And check this out, the Rockets with only 31 wins. Russell Harden, a 99 overall, did not end up making the playoffs. The standing is a lot different than what we would normally see in today's NBA. It's pretty interesting there. Let's come over here to our league leaders for scoring. We got Clay Curry. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, the two best three-point shooters in the NBA, you combine their skill, they just get even better. I guess this player is kind of like Stephen Curry, but better defense. And then even better at shooting because you combine both of their badges. I mean, they have 52 badges. Chris Antetokounmpo with 36. Anthony James. How many players do we have over 36 players averaging over 30 points per game? I thought Kyrie Durant would have done the best in terms of scoring, just because they're both insane scorers, and you got Durant who's 6'10", but I mean 31 points per game, 6, it's still insane. And in terms of scoring, Kevin Drummond gonna do the worst, averaging 20 points per game. But I mean, they should be on the top here for rebounds per game, and they are two of the best rebounders in the league. At both of their positions, they're the best. So they get the most boards, 17.2. Lonzo Ball going to be at the top for assists per game. So not even one of our combined players up there. And there's not many combined players at all near the top there. Steals per game going to go to Paul Leonard, of course, two of the best defenders in the league. Blocks per game goes to Ben Embiid, who did win Defensive Player of the Year. Field goal percentage, Chris Antetokounmpo. They shot 64.7%, which is just insane. And Kristaps Doncic shot 54% from the three-point line. We do not see Clay Curry up there. I mean, they put up way more attempts than anybody else in the NBA, though. So it doesn't make sense why they're not on top there. I wonder if there's any records broken. We're going to check out NBA records. It'll be interesting to see if anybody beat records this season. So Clay Curry ends up getting 3rd in NBA history for points in a season. Chris Antetokounmpo going to be 6th as well. 3-pointers made. Clay Curry just destroying the records. 557 3-pointers made this season. But in terms of points per game, it's actually 4th for Clay Curry, and it is going to be 8th for Chris Antetokounmpo right there. Nobody beating the total points record. I was really hoping maybe somebody would have gotten it with all these crazy combined players, but Clay Curry ends up getting 2nd for 3-pointers made, getting 13, which Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson have already done in real life. And then Hassan Lillard also hitting 13 here, which is pretty interesting. Paul Leonard ends up getting 10 steals in one game, tying for 3rd in NBA history. And that is going to be all the records. So a lot of records being broken here. Let's hop right into the simulation and find out which team is going to end up winning with all these combined players. So making it out of the second round, we got the Celtics beating the Wizards, and then the Nets with a little bit of an upset over the 76ers. They were the lower seed there. Raptors beat the Hawks, and the Bucks with a sweep against the Heat. Over in the West, we had the Lakers going to Game 7 against the Spurs. They end up winning. A little bit of upset again. Mavericks beating out the Warriors. Denver with a huge upset over the Clippers, and then the Trailblazers beating out the Kings. So a few upsets in the first round right there. Let's see which two teams are going to make the conference finals. So starting off in the West, a huge upset here. 4-2 victory for the Denver Nuggets. Looks like Jamal Jokic is going off. They're going to be facing off against the Lakers. And in the East, it's going to be Celtics versus Bucks. I mean, my pick was that Kyrie Durant duo to do really good. I thought the Nets were going to do really good, but they did not end up doing the best. Let's see which two teams are going to make the NBA Finals. Lakers with a huge lead in the West, and they get a 4-0 sweep. And in the East, it is going to be the Bucks with our MVP. If we check out all players here, both of our players in the finals, 99 overalls. And lots of our 99 overall teams did pretty good. But that Jamal Jokic, they're only a 93, but the rest of their squad's pretty solid as well. Let's see which team is going to come home with the NBA championship. The Lakers and the Bucks, they're tied up 2-2. Let's see who's going to get the lead. And the Bucks are going to get the lead. And the Bucks are going to be your NBA champions right there. So Chris Antetokounmpo is going to end up doing. I mean, Chris Antetokounmpo is absolutely insane. And they took him out of the game right now. I want to actually hop into this. I want to try and use this player. They're up by 34, so there's no chance of the Lakers coming back. But I actually want to use Chris Antetokounmpo because he is absolutely insane. It's pretty much Giannis. We gave him a 3-point shot, a mid-range shot. It's Giannis, but he can shoot amazing now. All right, come on. Let's get the screen. Wide open from 3, and that is money. Giannis can't really do that in real life. And then, of course, we got all of his normal skills. He's quick, really athletic, tall. I mean, we can still go inside like this with Giannis. And there he is holding up that Finals MVP, normal season MVP, Finals MVP. And the Bucks win the championship. So overall, I think we can say that Chris Antetokounmpo is the best player. And just from players overalls, you wouldn't think so, just because Chris Middleton isn't the highest overall in this game. I think he's like an 86 or something, but Giannis is a 97, and this just boosts him up to a 99. In terms of his final stats, he averaged 38.5 points per game, 12.2 rebounds, and 6 assists. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, make sure that you do smash that like button. And if you aren't already, subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 300K. Let's try to hit that within the next few days. This has been your boy Smequle, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the